Good afternoon, everyone. And we are really delighted to present Convergence at Crossroads. Namaskara ellarigu. Ellara sammelanake swagata. Long perceived as the Doddanekundi village, it is not just a community in itself, but a neighborhood in the larger city of Bangalore. All larger development plans that are spearheaded by certain residents and migrants that largely capture only their needs. For this village that is physically and temporally, that lies at the crossroads of development, a conflict and tension, how Ankit voiced out, of aspiration arises in time and place. The orange nodes here at the intersection of different modes of transport and users are points of highest congestion. Our project tries to leverage this conflict to create a convergence, a systemic operational framework that embraces economic, social, cultural, and the governance challenges through three aspects: networks, spaces, and elements. With this as the unique contextual circumstance, we want to reach a shared sustainable solution that answers two primary questions: who benefits and who is this for? The classic challenge of city being in a village and village being in a city is first addressed through a framework of larger networks. To maintain a sustainable relationship of the multiple modes, we have proposed segregated zones of lanes in the main Doddanekundi village zone. The narrow roads are next to the temple and towards the lakeside are limited to one-way circulation. The bus stop has been relocated near the auto stand to enable modal exchange. And apart from cars, bikes, two-wheelers, buses, this project considers the chariot procession route as a part of the main traffic planning. So what are the different ways we are creating convergence? We extend this framework through three integrated principles. First, temporal adaptability to design spaces that are flexible to multiple programming. Second, adjacencies, creating synergies by positioning complementary activities together. And lastly, hybridity, reimagining elements to perform diverse roles and not cater to singular interests. So embodying these three principles, the site strategy is almost like a design framework. A unique character has been identified for each street, and moving from right to left, we see a flexible cultural zone of the village square, then a social and commercial zone near the temple and PHC, and an ecological sensitive non-motorized transit zone towards the lake. The street between PHC and the temple right here is pedestrianized. The area around the inscription stone is reconfigured to create a renewed square, and edges of the institutions are reimagined as creative hybrid zones.
How can we maximize space? The, the challenge that a congested urban village possesses is the availability of space. We reimagine compound walls to maximize space and create a new social and cultural opportunities within this congestion. Peripheries are reimagined as zones that are reclaimed by public to use in multiple ways. The modularity and temporality of the elements allows for affordable uses. For example, this area can be used for prasadam distribution, evening gatherings, floor level vending for tender, coconut stalls, and cobblers, and smaller day to day kacheris. A PHC kiosk has been integrated to cater to the Thursday vaccinations, which reduces crowding in the main PHC center. A bike stand and a docking enables easier and increased access. The wider street is imagined as the commercial spine of the village, with auto rickshaws, cab drop and pickup, and bus stops planned within the spine for easy access. There is a wider sidewalk that is bordered by the vendors facing inward than outward currently. A two-way bike lane operates more comfortably for the bike riders alongside fast-moving traffic. The hybrid elements provide a space for relaxation of auto drivers under the trees, thus layering multiple zones together that lead to flexible junction.
Yeah. So how can we make these junctions flexible? While separate lanes channelize the traffic on streets, The junctions will be made more adaptable with different programming over changing times. Thus, we imagine these junctions as flexible and transitory spaces that accommodate both requirements for the festivals and the cars. So coming to the village square, the junctions currently see traffic congestions but also become a potential socio-cultural node in the urban village. The square is a temporal zone that transits with with changes. The square is a temporal zone that transitions with changing needs of circulation and celebrates in a culturally rich-rooted context. On a day-to-day basis, the grey road continues to operate seamlessly for the vehicles to pass, and on the days of celebrations, so the celebrations happen on the blue zone and traffic continues to move without disturbance on the side. There are several elements supporting these festivities, like the hybrid elements for temporary stalls when the vending demarcated by the removable bollards. On the right, a multi-level step seating is designed to watch the Palaki Utsava, similar to the Mysore Dashera processions, while on the other days it acts as a public space. The junction sectionally is flat, but with a cobbled paved zone that would allow the traffic to slow down. Considering the scale and the nature of the place, instead of having a traffic signal, the sculptural island redirects the traffic continuously without any waiting and remembers and celebrates the leaders from history. Yeah. Moving to the junction towards the Rama temple, the street is pedestrianized to allow vending activities near the entrance of the temple, organized shoe storage, urban seating, cycle tracks, and safe places to play. These can very well transform for a festive occasion and other events like Uruhabas, as one can see in the GIF playing right now.
How can private institutions participate in public space making? The inscription stone on the left has been left untouched to preserve its sanctity. Around it, an element has been introduced as a gathering space where customers of the Gongura stall can also spill over. The edge along Kalyana Mandapa has been transformed into a play zone for the kids in the village, which is limited in the village currently. It is an opportunity to create porous edges to reclaim some space for place making. Moving towards the lake is the non-motorized transit zone. Slow-moving traffic without segregated lanes accommodate cars and bikes. The open drains are modified to eco-bioswales to harvest rainwater into the Rajakaluve and lake. Unlike a recreation space for pause, this is designed as a node for eco-transitions. The bridge has been widened to let only pedestrians and bikes pass. The lower side of the bridge is transformed into a filtration barrage to treat the canal water. The sidewalk on the side of the Sai Baba temple is widened for easy movement and activity of devotees. Who will participate in making change? This change is made possible through an integrated stakeholder participation. The spatial strategies can only be successful through an effective integrated implementation model that is neither top-down nor bottom-up only. This project suggests a bridge model that invites the local institutional organizations like temple trusts, PHC, and Urahappa committees to initiate and contribute to the efforts of the ward committees and BBMP. Private organizations like Vendors Association, Shuchi Mitra, resident welfare groups, CSR funds of IT communities, Waste Management Committee, and Power Karmikas serve as weaving forces to represent the needs of the village at par with the demands of the larger region. Convergence models would help develop a clear monitoring and evaluation system to formalize the efforts from tactical interventions to long-term solutions. This project converges the conflict by using networks, spaces, and elements for placekeeping. We welcome you all to co-design this Yellaru Samanlana. Thank you.